Alright guys, Papa Pepper here again. This is day 14 of 50 Days to Understand the End Times More Accurately. Day 14, same day, 2. To pick up where we left off, Jesus stated that the day Noah entered in the ark, the flood came and destroyed them all. Luke chapter 17 verse 27. At first glance, Genesis chapter 7 verses 1 through 10 appears to teach that there was a week-long wait between when Noah entered the ark and when the flood came. Let us continue to read to see if we can gain any more insight. Quote, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, and the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. And they went in, male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. End quote. Genesis chapter 7, verses 11 through 13, and verse 16. We see in verses 11 and 13 that the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. That was the self-same day that Noah and his family entered in the ark. This matches up with the testimony of Jesus himself from Luke chapter 17 verse 27. Self-same day must indeed mean the same day, not 7 days later. So how do we reconcile this with what we read in Genesis chapter 7 verses 4 to 10? My belief is that after a century of ark building, God gives Noah a 1-week warning. For yet 7 days and I will cause it to rain. Genesis chapter 7 verse 4. Noah then wraps things up, gets the animals in the ark over the week that followed the warning, and on the 7th day, Noah is finished making preparations and enters the ark with his family, just as God had promised. And it came to pass on the 7th, after 7 days, that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and all the windows of heaven were opened. In the selfsame day entered Noah into the ark. This seems to be the only way that Scripture can remain intact, as well as the reliability of Jesus' testimony on the matter. Now let us back up again to what Jesus said. Quote, for as the lightning that lighteneth out of one part under heaven shineth unto the other part under heaven, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered in the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven, and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man be revealed. Luke chapter 17, verses 24 through 30. By backing up a few verses, we see that this cited section begins with, so shall the Son of Man be in his day, and it ends with, in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. The day that Noah entered into the ark, the world was judged by God. The day that Lot left Sodom and Gomorrah, those cities were destroyed by God. The day that Jesus raptures his church, God's end-time wrath will begin to be poured out upon the earth. Point. The day of the Lord begins the same day that the rapture happens. Be back tomorrow with chapter 15. Pop out.